Good morning, baseball fans. Alex Hart here. Today, it's time to do some Sunday, May 2nd reviews of baseball games. It was a bunch of games yesterday, as always, on Sunday. And we usually end with an interesting Sunday night. At least the Sunday nighter these days has been very interesting. Again, this one came down to the wire. If you stayed up to watch that, it's going to clearly be at the end of this video. But wow, what a game for sure. But let's just jump into it because today there's going to be a lot coming out. We also have the power rankings that comes out today that gives an update. Don't worry, that's not the results. If that's what you're looking at, it's not the results. You're going to have to watch the next video and see the updated because that's how it works around here. So let's jump into the first game. Cardinals 3, Pirates 0. Cardinals, I think, complete the complete sweep here. Really jumping out to the lead in this division. And they're taking care of business where they need to. And the Pirates, after being 500 for that short period of time, have now lost 3 in a row. Bader hits his first home run of the season for the Cardinals, and that's basically it. Carlos Martinez now has back-to-back great starts. He went 8 innings this game, back on pace to doing what they need him to do, really. 0 earned runs, 3 Ks. Crow on the other side, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. A decent start for him, and it's just bullpens after that. Not too much to go over here. Next up, Washington 3. They win this series against the Marlins. It was that 3-run inning in the third, and they're riding Scherzer. And he finally came out, had a very good start, not having those home run issues that we're used to. But as we like to talk about the Marlins, they kind of are like that. Well, it's funny I say that. The only run the Marlins gave up was a home run, and it was off Scherzer. However, it was in the 9th inning, so not too much there. Zimmerman hits his 4th of the season, and it's that 3-run shot, and that's basically all the offense was a couple home runs in this game. Rogers, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, and it's that 1 home run, so not too much. And then we had Scherzer going the complete inning, 9 Ks with that 1 home run against him. Nationals showing that, okay, they're not at least last in this division. Next up, Yankees 2, Tigers 0. Yankees completing a sweep of the Tigers and really getting back to 500, which is a big story here. Another big story here is Kluber. That's now 2 starts in a row where he's come out very good, very good. And his ERA is definitely down. I think he picked up his 100th win of his career today. He's now 2-2 on the season. 8 innings pitched, 10 Ks. Big game for him. Urena on the other side went 7 innings, 2 earned runs, and Urena's been pretty good, at least in the last couple games. It's down to 3.53, but he's 1-4, which when you're a part of the Tigers, I guess it's kind of to be expected. Reminds me of some great pitchers on the Jays like back in the day that just couldn't get any wins. But yeah, that's basically it. No home runs. It's just a 2-0 game. For a Yankees game, not too exciting, but if you like pitching and Kluber, you enjoyed it. Next up, Blue Jays 7, Braves 2, and the Blue Jays completed a complete sweep of the Braves in this one, and their offense got out and it had a very good series overall. Marcus Semien hits his 6th home run of the season. It's off Sean Newcomb. Off Sean Newcomb, and on the other side, Braves don't hit any home runs. The Jays went with another one of their the game before was their bullpen game. This is kind of a bullpen game for them. Like Stripling doesn't always go 4.1, and he did in this game. 2 earned runs, so they kept him in for a little longer leash because I guess he was getting it done. On the other side, Ian Anderson, 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. He's been the Braves' best pitcher. And then they have to bring in their long man, Tomlin, who didn't give up any, but then Newcomb comes in and gives up 3 and only gets 1 out. That's basically the game. Jays' offense really popping. Their bullpen was strong in these past 2 performances. And yeah, they're hoping Ryu starts. Hopefully, we'll talk about that. He might be in the injury report when we get there. Reds 13, Cubs 12, and wow, this series over the weekend was amazing to watch. Everyone probably enjoyed it if they tuned in. Lots of runs in this game, back and forth, back and forth. I'm not going to obviously go into every play. There's so many, 25 runs overall. This one came down to extras, and unfortunately, Kimbrel gets the job here. And this is what my gripe is with extra innings, is that Kimbrel ends up getting the loss here. But he still hasn't given up an earned run on the entire season. But he gets the loss. So there goes his perfect record, all that stuff. On the Cubs side, Trevor Williams, 6 earned runs, 2.2. Malley, 6 earned runs, 5 innings at least he lasted. But both these guys, tons of games. Amir Garrett's in the game there as well, and there's a lot of heat between these two guys. Bryant, 2 home runs, he's up to 9. Rizzo hits his 5th, Baez hits his 7th, Ian Happ hits his 2nd. I believe Ian Happ left the game in this one. I didn't see what happened, but I heard them talking about it, so there's some sort of injury there with him. Castellanos also hit 2, so him and Bryant both hitting 9 home runs now this season. We're looking for that first guy to hit 10. I don't know if it happened today. Moustakas hits his 3rd. Suarez hits his 5th. Barnhart hits his 3rd. So all the best players in both these teams are just like hitting bombs. Overall, Castellanos 5-hit night, 4 RBIs. And they interviewed him after the game, and he talked about how the night before it was down to him in the bottom of the 9th with the bases loaded, and he got out. So he came out and he was pissed, and he got it done. Next up, Rays 5, Astros 4, and this comes to be a pretty close series, all series long. Most of them are 1-run, 2-run games, and it's going to be a split overall. So both teams are going to be pretty good with how they play. These are both teams very well competing for playoff spots. Meadows hits his 5th of the season. Alvarez hits his 3rd of the season on this one. Rich Hill, again, 3 innings pitched here, 0 earned runs, but only 3 innings pitched. It's got to be something of a concern. He went 44 pitches, assuming something happened there. I don't know for sure. On the other side, Javier goes 3 earned runs, 5 innings pitched, and then we got blown save in the bullpen. And if you give the lead to the Rays bullpen, we all know what that's about. Castillo comes in and gets his 7th save of the year. Next up, Twins 13, Royals 4. This was a series of blowouts on every side of the ball, and the Twins really needed a series win, and they got it. They picked up their first series win in a while, I would think, just based on how I've been watching them. Dozier, his 3rd home run of the season for the Royals. They only got 4, but 13 runs here. So Simmons, 1st home run. Garver hits his 5th. Kilroff hits his 4th. So a little bit of guys there. Overall, just spread out offense. Alvarez at the top of the lineup here, 3 hits. Might be found a good spot for him being in the top of the lineup. Barrios, 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 9 Ks. Keller, 4.17 runs allowed, but only 2 of them earned. Don't know what happened. Clearly, when you got 5 unearned runs, there's a lot of errors going on in that one. Indians 5, White Sox 0, and the Indians finally get a big pitching performance from Plesac in this one, keeping down the White Sox offense, which is no easy task at all. Plesac went 5.2, a few walks, couple of hits, 6 strikeouts, but no runs. That's what they talk about. That's what they need. Giolito, 5.1, 1 earned run. He's going to get the loss off 1 earned run, and Cleveland's offense comes through. 5 runs. Hernandez hits his 2nd home run of the season. Jose Ramirez his 8th. And that's basically all she wrote. They shut out the White Sox. And I think I'm almost certain, can't remember all these, but I'm pretty certain they won this series 2-1. But obviously, when it comes to power rankings, we'll watch that, and that'll be a big part of who's above who, and we'll talk about that. So I'll be more up to date. Dodgers 16, Brewers 4. And you cannot keep these Dodgers down for long. After being really kept down in runs the past 2 games, they're like, screw this. 9 runs in the first 2 innings, and they're just going to spank the Brewers. People are probably talking about, oh, the Brewers can beat the Dodgers, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. We'll show them what we do when we actually turn it on here. Pollock hit 2 home runs here. He had 8 RBIs. Beatty, 7 RBIs. So these bottom 2 guys, 15 RBIs. Insane. So he had 2 home runs. Beatty hit 1. There's 2 home runs for Nottingham on the Brewers side, but that's about it. Urias is now 4-0. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 10 Ks. And then they just throw and kick him to close it out. Bettinger, 11 earned runs. They really left this guy in there to dry. Holy moly. And then the next guy, 5 earned runs. What can you do? That's it. Rangers 5, Boston 3, and I believe the Rangers take this series overall, and it comes down to a 8th inning here, 3-run. Kinner Falafel hits a solo home run in the 7th, which is the only one for the Rangers. So the rest were generated, which is good. Bogarts hits his 5th of the season as well, so only a couple of home runs. Overall, I'm kind of interested. Is there anything? Holt's clutch heroics sting former team. So it looks like some clutch hitting from Brock Holt here, and he takes out the Boston Red Sox, which is pretty awesome. I guess it's only one RBI, so I'm not going to read too much into that. Fulte, 2 earned runs, picks up the no decision, and then Kennedy comes in for the save. He's now up to 7. Ian Kennedy looks like he's found his role for the Rangers. Oh no, no surprise to me. Ottavino's in there struggling. He just pops out to me with Boston because every time there seems to be an issue with the bullpen, it seems to be him, at least from what I've seen. It's his 3rd blown save of the season already, and he stands out because he was lights out from his years in Colorado when they had a really good bullpen. He would come in, be that 8th inning guy and get it done. So that's why he's standing out, because I always saw him as a dangerous ad for Boston. But Boston loses. Next up, A's 7, Orioles 5. So at least the A's are winning a game here. They're not getting run out of town or staying in town. They do have the Jays coming into town, so that'll be exciting for me. Hayes hits his 4th home run of the season for the O's. Olsen 7th. Laureano his 5th overall. And Oakland, this game was really tight. It was 2-2, and then it was 4-4, and then 5-5, like back and forth. Orioles really put up a fight here. You love to see it. Mullins is starting to cool off. He went 0 for 5. He's brought his average down 3.21 still fucking awesome. Still awesome. But yeah, Olsen, big game, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Manaea, 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, average. Zimmerman, 4.23 earned runs, also somewhat average, so nothing too much to speak about. But this one came down to the wire, and Oakland steals a win for sure. D-backs 8, Rockies 4. D-backs 2 games above 500. They're taking care of business against the Rockies. They're picking up the wins here. They're showing that, hey, Giants are doing well. We got to show we can do well too. This might not be as over as it should be for some of these teams. I'm not sold, but it is what it is. We got to tell the story. Speaking of stories, Trevor Story, 4th home run of the season. P. Smith, 3rd home run of the season for the D-backs. It's funny. I gotta start figuring out some of these guys' names for the D-backs, because they seem to be showing up quite often. Like P. Smith, feels like a guy I should know. Pavin Smith, young 25-year-old, seems like maybe a guy I should know. M. Kelly, maybe you should know him. He's been pitching enough games, right? 5.2, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks. Gonzalez on the other side, 4 earned runs, and it's just a bunch of closer coming in, blown saves all around. Blown save and then picks up the win for Denvensky, and then Bard hits the loss. And this one, so it was a blown save in the 8th, the top of the 8th. The Rockies blow it, or take the lead, or not take the lead, they tie it. Shows what I know. Then Arizona rolls in, 4-run bottom of the 8th, and that's all she wrote. Next up, Seattle 2, Angels 0. And it feels like every single day I'm talking about something different with the Angels. Their pitching sucks, they lose. Oh, their offense pops off, their pitching's okay, they win. Oh, their pitching's great, their offense sucks, they lose. Like, what is going on with these Angels? They can't seem to find a steady identity, and it's becoming a problem. Mariners, I think, win this series overall. Just 2-0, no home runs in this game. The Mariners just must have had that 1 run in the 4th, 1 run in the 5th, got her done. Sheffield, 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 4 Ks. Amazing start. He's now 2-2. Bundy, 0-3 now, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. Like, can't blame Bundy. Like, he's supposed to have offense support him in this situation. He should be coming out of this game if he pitches this well with a win, and he didn't. Next up, we got the San Francisco Giants 7, Padres 1, and this is what I'm talking about. The Giants come in here and show that they deserve to be in the conversation with the Padres, in the conversation with the Dodgers. They come in with a big, steady win, 7-1. Their ace on the mound. Their bat's alive. What else can we offer? Tauchman, first home run of the season off Musgrove, and Tatis Jr. hits his 8th of the season, and this is off Gosman, who went 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 Ks. Musgrove went 5 earned runs, so Musgrove probably his worst start of the season so far, whereas Gosman just continuing to be an ace that it's like found money for the Giants. It's they got to be really excited with how these pitchers are doing, and they're really keeping them in the conversation. And this week in the power rankings, I don't know, people probably are going to say I don't respect them enough, but it's just so hard to go. They were basically in the bottom row. So hard. You can't just go into the top row like that. Last game of the night, we got Mets 8, Phillies 7, and of course, we have controversy on a Sunday night game. It wouldn't be the MLB without it. I'll start with that. The ninth, bottom of the ninth, a couple guys on. Rhys Hoskins hits a bomb, and they call it a home run on the field, which would have tied the game 8-8. There's a couple guys on base. They end up ruling a double because it hits the top of the railing and like launches back in, which like really like it sucks in this situation because he's probably at least on a triple in that scenario had that not happened. But honestly, it shouldn't have come to that because in the top of the eighth, the Mets put up a 6 spot on the Phillies, and the Phillies bullpen blows this one in my eyes, just complete blow. We'll go to that first. Kinsler gives up 3 earned runs. Alvarado 3 earned runs. So just 6. Both those guys got 1 out and 6 runs, and it cost them the game because they were leading before that anyway. They shouldn't have had to have those ninth inning heroics. Familia gets to the first save, and Diaz almost blows this game because that home run. They ended up bringing in Familia for that last out. It was very close. Overall, McCutcheon's second home run. Gregorius hits his third. Kevin Pillar hits his first of the season. And that basically wraps up the games of the last night, Sunday games. Lots of excitement. Power rankings, they're going to be jumbled around a little bit, and then hopefully some people understand what I'm doing there. But before we go, let's jump into some injury updates. Shohei Ohtani, scheduled to start Monday, is now in question. He has a sore elbow after the two-way player was hit by a pitch. So that sucks. Hopefully he's able to start, but we've had 2 starts from him so far this season. Should be up to at least 3 or 4. Louis Robert helped off the field, suffered a right hip flexor. So if he's helped off the field, x-rays were negative. He'll be reevaluated. Hopefully everything turns out okay for him. George Springer, this was worrisome for the Jays. He exited the game in the 6th inning. He's playing his 4th game of the season, and he was missing the games with an injury, so hopefully there's been no update yet, so hopefully that's okay. Jesus Lozado, 10-day DL list. Ian Happ, moments after launching the game-tying game, he was forced to exit. So there was like a scary collision in center field between him and a player trying to make a defensive play. Hopefully that turns out okay. Contreras remains. He must have collided with Contreras. Ross is going to be coming back. Dustin Mays on the 10-day DL. Arihara, sore callus, would need a stint on the IL. That's coming. So Tommy LaStella, he left the game in the 5th for them. X-rays for Trevor Story came back negative, so I guess he hurt his finger. He was hit by a pitch on Sunday. Ouch. But it seems to be happening a lot. I don't know if it's just because I'm so focused on all this stuff, but it seems to be a lot more of that. Manager, Yelich, Kane, Yelich and Kane to return during the Brewers' upcoming 4-game series. So that's a huge boost to the already great Brewers going on right here. Darno, Jackson, I'm not going to mark on. There's so many guys here. We talked about a lot of these guys yesterday, so I'm not going to go into that. And that pretty much wraps up the injury report. If you want to see some of those other guys near the bottom, just go to yesterday's video and click in the timestamps as injury report. And we have like Strasburg and Snow and all those guys. So thanks for watching. We'll see you for the next video.